Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Be Saints Awakened. We're your hosts, Andrew and Cecilia Birkin, and we have some very special guests here today with us who we've been dying to have. So it's going to be a good episode, but I will go ahead and let Andrew introduce them.
Thank you, Cecilia. So, real quick, I'd like to start by saying we did, in fact, have the baby. Our child is here, and she's currently being held by Cecilia as we are recording this. It is almost 9:30 p.m. These two are at our house. We've had Margaret on before for the women's panel episode, but Gabe is new. And so we have Gabe and Margaret Wild. They're newlyweds. You weren't married when you were here last week.
No.
It was like a couple days.
Yeah, it was like a couple weeks or something. You were like, 16 days. Yeah. We were counting down and freaking out about it.
So they're newlyweds. Gabe was quite literally probably the second person that I asked to be on the podcast when we started it up over 2 years ago now. And yeah, so we're
just now getting on.
we finally got him. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about marriage because why not? The sacrament of marriage. It's something that obviously all four of us here are experts at, right? Because they've been married for how many?
5.
For 5 months, and we've been married for 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
So obviously we know these things. So, anyways, Gabe and Margaret, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Yeah, tell us about how you met.
Yeah. All things. All
Okay.
things Gabe and Margaret.
So, so Margaret Wild, originally Margaret Savage. Let's see, I've known Andrew and Cecilia through like phases in my life. I knew Andrew mostly because of Gabe, and Cecilia, I've known you when we were kids, and then I wouldn't see you probably for like 5 years, and then all of a sudden I saw you again. It kind of like in and out like that.
Spawn into each other's lives.
Yeah, but we always had a good time. And then especially when Gabe and I, not even the first year we started dating, but maybe like the second year we really started to hang out with you guys, and it's just been so much fun since. So
yeah.
I feel like I have so much power on this side of the mic. Listening to you, I feel like I'm listening to the podcast live.
Yeah.
You forget you can add something.
Yeah, I'll just listen to this podcast. My name's Gabe, and I'm excited to be here. I put this off as long as I could because I don't like talking, but we'll see how this goes.
All good. So we're excited. And actually, we had Gabe and Margaret over for dinner just before this to kind of visit and catch up. Cecilia and I we haven't seen them in a couple weeks. We've had a long couple weeks, but we'll get into that at a later time. But anyways, Gabe tried to sneak out the house before we started recording, and I think his excuse was because he was tired. I'm not sure.
Didn't work.
But so yeah, the sacrament of marriage. What do we know about it? Why is it good? Anyone want to start us off, or should I give you guys a sporadic question? What are we thinking? Cecilia, you can chime in on that too.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess first of all, I kind of want to start off by saying that this episode is probably going to be more like experience too, just because obviously none of us have been doing this for a super long time. So, but I also think it's really cool, especially for our audience, which is ideally college students, to just kind of be like what it is to be a young married couple kind of thing. Oh my gosh, she's so noisy. And just to kind of like speak on that a little bit. Not that obviously we're not experts. Gabe and Margaret might be, but I think it's safe to say I don't think Andrew and I are there yet.
No.
You know, we only have like 2 months under our belt, so. But yeah.
It's way better than dating, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're dating and you want to get married, just do it. This is your sign.
It's way better than dating.
There's really no better time than now.
But talk to a priest.
Yeah, you have to be ready, but like if you're ready and you're putting it off for some unknown reason.
Yeah, and also,
You know.
Gabe has said this before too, and I agree with him 100%, is that who's actually like ready.
Yeah, no one's ever ready.
No one's
ever
ever
ready.
really ready.
You'll never have enough money in the bank account.
No.
Like you'll never
We
be
certainly
100%. Yeah, you'll never be 100% ready. So at that point, like obviously take it up with God, take it up with a mentor of sorts. But if you know, you know
Yeah.
the person.
So I think because this is geared more towards college students and their discernment, and their vocation towards whatever it may be, specifically marriage, I suppose, since that's what we're talking about, I'll kind of open up for everybody, and I think I'm going to answer this too after everyone else goes. What made you realize that marriage was your vocation? So anyone here can start, and I think it might be good. Maybe use this as an icebreaker to kind of get going. So what made you realize marriage was your vocation? Any takers?
Sure. It wasn't like a big fancy moment. It was never just this like rock hit me and I was like, wait, marriage is my vocation. It was I still like even trying to remember it. There's still never like a point where I remember being like, this is my vocation, like being so sure that this was my vocation. I think at a very young age, I was determined to be a nun, like, and I was almost determined to be a nun because I just assumed if you were a nun, you went to heaven. I was like, okay, this is my easy ticket to heaven. But like that was for I think like 3 years, from like 9 to 12. I was sure I was going to be a nun, and then kind of after that, I like kind of let that go. I think once I realized that you don't just get to go to heaven when you're a nun, that's
Put in the work.
I think she also just wanted to be Sister Savage.
Yeah, it was that was yeah. But anyway, I gave it a lot of thought at a young age, and I'm very grateful my parents were super welcoming to that. But I think just over time, I just trusted. I really think I just trusted, and then and like I Gabe and I never had a talking phase. He just like asked me to go out on a date one day, and it was like, okay, wow, that happened. And then we were dating. So I think it was more just I never had a plan for the future other than what was happening that day, and that's very much me. And I think that's all it was. And I'm very secure in that was where I was supposed to go now.
I spent the whole summer talking to her. She didn't pick up on it. I planned like once a week to hang out with her, and she just thought I wanted to hang out.
But in group settings, how was I supposed to know? It was in mutual settings.
No, for me, I think it was more of like everyone growing up always wanted to be like an astronaut or a firefighter or whatever it was, and like I always wanted to farm, but it was always like I just want to be a dad. I want to be a husband and a dad. Like, always growing up, it's always what it was. And so just looking back on my life, there never really was a time where it was like, oh, I really want to be a priest. It was always like, yeah, but it'd be cool, but I really want to be a husband and I really want to be a dad. Like from the really, really young age. It's just kind of the same thing. It wasn't like a moment necessarily, but that's what I was saying.
That's awesome. I'm kind of similar to Margaret, actually, where growing up I was extremely determined to be a nun and really, really loved the idea of it and really thought that I was called to that, and then even went back to kind of rediscern at the beginning of college. And the thing is that people are like, oh, I don't know, like, oh, I'm discerning marriage, or like I'm discerning marriage or religious life. But a lot of people don't stop to realize that, like, you don't discern marriage. Like, you discern marriage with someone. You don't just, like, am I called to marriage? Like, when you discern marriage, you discern marrying someone. So I didn't discern marriage until I was in a relationship with Andrew. And then when you're pursuing each other, that's when you go, okay, then you discern marriage with this person.
Cool. Okay.
And so, like, that was the thing, is that I wanted to make sure that I was still very open to everything. And I think I did a pretty good job with that until we, like, actually put a label on things and started dating. But, no, and for me, I agree with Margaret. Margaret, hello. And that it wasn't like a big, like, oh my gosh, this is it. But I noticed it more in the way that it was like a quiet but extremely peaceful, like, realization where it didn't hit me like a brick, where it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, I'm called to marry Andrew. It was like, and the little quiet moments that were so peaceful and so joyful, and just so genuinely loving, that it was like, that was me realizing that this was my vocation. And, yeah.
Great. Well, I think mine, I guess similar to you girls, not that I was going to go be a nun, but I grew up in a very, I grew up in a very, very Catholic household, and the only thing that we were ever allowed to watch was EWTN, and there was this really, really, I don't remember the name of it. My dad would, Mom might. This cooking program on EWTN, and there was a priest, and he was a chef, and he would make all kinds of things. And I was like, I want to be just like him when I grow up. I want to cook things for people. I want to be able to feed them physically and spiritually. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I took a lot from that. Shame I don't remember his name, but I grew up hardcore, always believing that I was called to go be a priest. I made several retreats, several come-and-sees, and I was pretty dead set on this is what I need to do. I also never enjoyed the idea of maybe one day being a father, and I knew that that if I got married, that's what would happen. I would eventually have to become a dad.
Darn.
LOL.
So, but I grow up and I get into the dating world, and Cecilia and I are spending a lot of time with each other on the podcast. And, when we start going out, I wasn't really discerning her for marriage at that point in time when we started dating, because I didn't really understand it. But every time I went anywhere with Cecilia, and we, outside of, or not even outside of, whether we were recording or doing anything, I always viewed her as the perfect mother to my children, which was something that I never wanted. I didn't want kids. And so to see someone and be like, yeah, I don't think that I could find anyone better to raise my children was a very terrifying thought, because now I'm like, crap, I got to marry her. I'm not going to find anyone better. And so then I'd say that's when I began to discern marriage, was kind of midway through when I was dating Cecilia. Again, just because I didn't really understand what discernment of marriage looked like. I grew up and only knew just how to discern priesthood.
Yeah.
And so when I realized that Cecilia would be a good mother, I also realized her potential to be a good wife, which she is. And now here we are.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is.
But I think that I'll speak for everybody here. And I'll say that getting there to the wedding day, like making it to the wedding day was like, how would you say? Like,
The hardest part?
It's hard because you're tiptoeing a line of like being just so extremely grateful for all the people who have gotten you to this point, for so many people going out of their way, and financially, time wise, and all kinds of stuff for you guys. And you're like, you want to be super grateful for it, but at the same time, like, being engaged sucks.
Being engaged
it sucks, but like, I hate to say that because I'm just so grateful for all the people who were there for us, and how much we got to grow in that time. But it sucked. I mean, I don't. What do you have to say? I know you hated it, Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could have done a lot better of a job of like preparing ourselves for marriage, other than like being engaged. Like, I think it was like, okay, we're dating. Let's worry about like high school, getting out of high school, everything like that, and then we like got engaged, and it was like, okay, well, we're gonna be married now, and it wasn't as much of like a preparation for marriage. I feel like we could have done a better job of that. And I would advise that to people, like anyone that I know that gets engaged, I would definitely tell them that. Like, find good Catholic people to hang around, find good Catholic couples, and then learn from them. And, like, ask them questions like, what do we need to be growing on? Or how can we grow before becoming married?
If I could go back and do anything, I would let people in my life... Oh, sorry. I would let people... Yeah, I really can. I would let people in my life, like, entirely take over the physicality of the wedding and just spend the time of engagement to like spiritually prepare myself for marriage, because and obviously there are certain graces that God doesn't give you till you're in the situation, and it's what, do you disagree?
No, I agree.
There are just certain graces that you don't receive until you need them in that moment. And, but also there's no harm in spending time with God asking, like, hey, I know I'm going to need these graces one day. Like, help me now. Help me start learning them and preparing them, and help me start loving my future spouse now in a way that I know that I'm going to need to. And so really, I would totally go back and just be like, hey, so-and-so, like, I don't care about the details. Because I didn't. I'm so type B. I was like, shoot, I don't know, pick whatever. And I wish I would have just really focused on, like, being really more intentional about spiritually preparing myself for marriage. For sure.
And
people forget that in the hustle and bustle.
To be honest with you, the other day we were at Cecilia's parents' house, and we walked into one of the rooms, and there was a mirror in the room, and it said something like, "Welcome to the wedding of Andrew and Cecilia," or "There's reception of Andrew and Cecilia." And I was like, "Where was that in the hall? I didn't even remember seeing
in the entrance. You walked in, it was right there."
And then the more I thought about it, like, I don't remember anything.
Yeah,
that was like. It was, I remember getting so frustrated with people, and that would cause lots of fights between Cecilia and I, or, just arguments and disagreements, and, between her and I on the details of the wedding, because I knew that she wanted something and wasn't going to get it, so that infuriated me. And I thought that certain aspects of that was not fair. Whoever it was coming from. I'm not pointing fingers. I don't really remember, nor do I care at this point. But looking back on it now, like Cecilia said, I don't remember much of what everything looked like. I remember what colors the party was wearing, and that's about it. I don't remember what colors the flowers were. I don't remember what kind of flowers they were. I don't remember if the tables had cloths on them or not.
Yeah.
I hardly remember the food that we had to eat. I couldn't tell you who was there, and that wasn't what was important at that point in time. Was Cecilia and the sacrament that she and I were receiving. That's what I remember most from my wedding day. And so looking back on it, I do have the same regrets as Cecilia, in the sense that I wish we wouldn't have argued as much. Instead said, hey, it's okay. We're not worried about the physicality of these things. Let's just focus on the sacrament and move forward. And I think that not having that mindset really made our engagement rough.
Well, honest, I loved every bit of like picking out the bridesmaids' dresses and like I loved every bit of like that part of it. I think what like we had the hardest time on was trying to get the idea across that we were appreciating, I think, the people that we loved the right way. I think most of the arguments we had in the whole like wedding planning was like, how do we appreciate this person and appreciate this person? And it's like, that's what kind of sucks about that whole wedding planning is you've got so many people you love, and how do you appreciate everybody, and how do you
Yeah. Just so many different aspects.
Yeah.
There's just so many different aspects. I don't want to have to give Andrew a hard time about trying to make me sound a lot louder. But I do have a sleeping baby.
It's hard to make you sound any louder than you actually are.
Let's go. Let's rewind back to where you said I was a good wife. Let's just sit there for a second, because that was nice. But no, there's just so many different aspects of it, and it's so funny because like everyone has like a different, I guess like focus or take on engagement and stuff like that. But also, and I want to say in January we did a back to school for the second semester like Bible study kickoff, and I had said something I had a big Bible study, and it was a really good Bible study that night. And I don't know why, but it had really like struck me that night while I was talking to these girls, and I was like, it was like engagement was super, super hard, but also super rewarding, because there's obviously like a kind of growth that you have to do. And
I think that's why it's hard.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard, because you're having to like go out your comfort zone.
Yeah. And if you put into the perspective of like, if you look at how Satan's viewing this, like he's freaking out at the idea of a young Catholic couple who are about to enter into the covenant of marriage. Like he's freaking out about that. He doesn't want that to happen at all. And if he can do anything, like bring up little silly discussions that blow and out of proportion, like he's eating that up, because he doesn't want us to enter into marriage. He doesn't want us to and then if we do, he doesn't want it to be a happy or a holy marriage, not at all. So I think that's another thing too, is that it's like once you're married, like your vocation doesn't end, and like Satan doesn't stop trying to attack you from those little things too. This is like, yes, it is so much better. I don't have to drive. I don't have to drive 50 minutes home.
Me and Sis, just in case anyone needed to know, our husbands, or at the time, fiancés, boyfriends, whatever, lived in the middle of country folk nowhere. And so me and poor Cecilia were driving like almost an hour there and back.
Didn't have to drive.
No, we didn't do jack.
Us poor ladies.
I know, and then we'd be like, wow, what a great night. We've had so much fun. It's midnight. And we have an hour home. What are you talking about?
School.
Yeah, we've got school in the morning. Yeah. So it is really nice to be like, wow, what a great fun night. Okay, good night. Like, let's go to bed. But yeah. So I don't even remember what we were talking about.
No, you lost me.
Yeah, I had an idea, but I forgot it.
That happens. Hey, record with her enough, and you'll see.
Yeah. Breastfeeding green. So.
Okay.
Well, we all forgot. We're not breastfeeding. Cecilia has an
I forgot.
excuse.
Well, I started the train off the track, and then I forgot where the track was going.
thoughts on engagement from you?
I would just say, like, just be where you are. Like, you're not going to be engaged ever again. And once you're married, you're going to be married for the rest of your life. So it's just like,
I mean,
just enjoy it. And then when you are married, enjoy that too. Like, so many people came up to me for the first month after, and they were like, "How's it going?" And I was like, "It's great, because this is the easiest it's ever going to be. Like, it shouldn't be hard right now.
No.
Like, yeah, I got to learn to live with someone that I didn't live with before, but like,
but it's your best friend.
Yeah, you know, like, I get to live with my best friend, and I get to, you know, like I just, it should be easy. It shouldn't be hard right now. And so,
but at the same, I mean, I've talked to people though, and everyone's experience is different. Some people get married, and that first month is the hardest month, because all of a sudden they're clashing at every turn, and then
socks on the floor.
they're discovering a part of someone that they've never known before, and it can. So if it is hard that first month, like, that's okay too. It just, everyone's different.
It's so funny because it is like I loved being able to see, like, I don't know, all of like the little quirks that I didn't know before. Like, I think it's so fun, and it's like
what? Give me one.
No. But,
not in front of Anastasia.
but just like, I don't know, getting to see someone like live their life behind the scenes. I don't know, like, to me it was so fun. It was like, this is so like fun and like intimate and vulnerable. And
oh yeah, like, I learned that Cecilia puts beef tallow on her face every night. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Every night.
Because I can't kiss her goodnight anymore. And it's like, why would you?
Puts this weird mouth tape on every time. I'll be like mid-conversation with her, and she just starts like, ruh, 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 and she can't open her mouth every night.
Yeah, at least I don't wear my retainer anymore.
Oh.
But no, I do have beef tallow on my face. No, or like, there were a couple of times, especially because we were living in the tiny house.
Oh, yikes.
So there's like really little to no privacy about anything. So it was so funny. There's several times where I woke up and Andrew was gone, and then I was like, "What? Like, where'd he go?" And then he would come back in the room smacking on something. And I was like, "Are you eating?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got hungry." And I'm like, "What time is it, bro?"
2:00. Leave me alone. You're supposed to be asleep.
Yeah. So it was just funny where it's like, what are you doing? But no, it really is like, it's supposed to be fun. Like, there were so many times, I had a bunch of people ask me, like, how's it going? What's going on? I'm like, this is fun. It's like a sleepover with your best friend every day. It's like a snuggle party. Yeah. And it is. It's fun.
Yeah, I think that our first month of marriage was a bit rough.
Considering.
But we moved. We were living in a very tiny house before, and we moved into this bigger house, and it's nicer, and we don't have as much space to argue or bicker. I think, I don't really know, but we haven't fought as much, and since we've been married for sure. But being out of a tiny house has been a help with that.
Yeah.
But now I think our marriage is pretty consistent. We have good routines, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I do
postpartum hormones, but
I do all the cooking and the cleaning, and I work, which I don't mind because she changes diapers, and I'm not going to complain. So, but yeah, all in all, marriage has been great and fun, and definitely, don't act a fool during your engagement. Something my dad said when I was over there just ranting and spewing all of my thoughts on the engagement and the wedding season. Something my dad said to me was, Andrew, all you have to do is be Cecilia's hero, and that's it. And what that means is just sit back and let her vent and let her scream and complain about everything that she needs to, and then give her a hug at the end. There's no reason to go pick fights with the people that she's mad at. There's no reason to start anything. Just be calm and be there for her. That's what's important. That's what's going to get you through marriage. And so I try to take that and live with that model every day.
It works. Us women are a lot more simple than we think.
It's insane what a hug does.
I know.
Yeah, right?
It's insane.
It's crazy. Man, hug your significant others. Like,
When you said earlier how you had said Martin was like, "Can you hold me?" I was like, "It's not just me."
I thought that too.
It's a universal women thing. I know it is. Can you hold me? Can you just hold me?
So I think if we're done with this bit of it, I think we can kind of switch gears into more of the sacramental side of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So why is marriage a sacrament? Do we know? Does everyone know what a sacrament is? Someone want to explain? Just to recap for those listening. Margaret,
Are you
What's the
answering?
catechism answer?
I'm trying to think of the
So
catechism.
disappointed in Mary.
It's like an outward sign of Christ.
Yeah, an outward,
grace.
a sacramental sign or something. A sacred sign. It's a sacred sign of God's grace within us or something.
sacred
Oh, boom.
sign of God's
Instituted
grace
by
within us.
Instituted through Christ.
Instituted through Christ. So how does
Biblically.
to give grace biblically?
Just Google it.
So why is marriage a sacrament? The other sacraments is the Eucharist and baptism, confirmation. Those are sacraments of initiation, and then they got the last rites and holy orders, and there's one
Anointing
more.
of the sick. Did you say that already?
Yeah,
Oh, you said
it's the
that.
last rites. There's one more I'm forgetting.
Wait, what did you say? Did you say?
No.
Oh, you just said that. You said
So we're
it.
gonna edit this out. Make us sound smarter.
Okay.
Wait, you said.
didn't say,
You said.
You didn't say.
Oh yeah, you did.
All right,
Oh.
from the top.
Give credit to Cecilia after.
Why is marriage a sacrament? The other sacraments are the Eucharist, baptism, confirmation. Those are sacraments of initiation. You also have the sacrament of confession, which is a fire sacrament, one that should be utilized, I think, most right next to the Eucharist. You can't really have the Eucharist without confession. That's a whole different ball game, whole different episode. So Cecilia reminded me about that one earlier. And then you have holy orders, which is becoming a priest, which would be in the same category as marriage. And then you have the anointing of the sick, or the last rites. So those are the sacraments, the 7 sacraments. Why is marriage a sacrament? Any takers? Floor is open.
Okay, I don't know
Google
the
it.
I don't know the catechism answer, but like what comes to mind is in my little preparation that I did for this, I think it was like Catholic Answers or something. They had an article about that marriage in the Bible is the greatest sign God uses to represent his relationship with his people, with us and himself, over a shepherd and a sheep, over a king and his people, over anything else. He uses marriage, the relationship between a husband and wife, as a symbol, as his own relationship between himself and his people.
Yeah.
Don't know the catechism answer. That's just what comes to mind, and that's beautiful. It's very beautiful to think that, in a way, Gabe and I's marriage reflects the same kind of love. Not exactly, because they're different technically, but the same relationship of love, maybe. I don't know how you would say it, but that he has with us.
Right.
So.
No, it is cool. Because, I mean, yeah, a marriage is supposed to reflect, like you had said, how Christ loves his church. And that is just, it's like insanely cool to actually take a step back and think about. And also just to think about, like, what a privilege and also what a responsibility that is. That it's like every day when Andrew and I wake up, we have the option to like live that out. Obviously, we should say yes, and we should choose to do that. And we said that in our vows that we try to. But that when we, and I mean, it's important that we do so within the walls of our home, obviously, but also like when we're out of the house, when we're seeing and talking to people, that our relationship is supposed to exemplify the love of Christ and the love that He has for His church. I think that's just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what a mission, what a privilege that is that we get to be able to do that.
Andrew's raising his hand.
Oh, Gabe gave me a high five. I've always wanted one of those. So, you, quickly before you continue, you said our marriage is supposed to exemplify the love of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
It'd be an example, like
Not what
Yes,
sign?
of
Yes.
the love of Christ, which is what? What is
Yes.
what does that mean? The love of Christ.
oh well, it is. It's sacrificial.
Yeah, that's the word I was saying.
Yeah, which is
What?
exactly what the love of the marriage definitely is. Also, had a bad habit of being like, well, if Andrew's supposed to love me like Christ loves the church, why doesn't He love me perfectly? Yeah, don't put that kind of pressure on your spouse.
You're not perfect,
Yeah,
darling.
do not put that kind of pressure on your spouse. You will be very disappointed. But then also you'll be like, oh wait, he's like not perfect like God is. Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
He's pretty close though.
I mean,
Well,
he's
I'm
awesome,
not.
but
Yeah,
God's
I don't like to brag. You know me.
but
Humble king.
yes.
That's what they called me back in high school.
Right.
But another thing that I wanted to add on top of that is that on top of like the privilege that we have of being able to represent Christ's love between Him and the church, we also are examples of the Trinity, like the family is. Like obviously in a marriage, you know, yeah, I don't know. We had a really cool episode where Becky Clements came and talked about theology of the body, and she talked about how the family represents the Trinity. Okay.
If you listen to that episode, I make a very sly comment about Cecilia taking some of the information and telling her boyfriend about it. But at that point in time, no one knew that we were dating.
Oh, you're so
Wow.
I forgot until you
Been holding on to that.
So
Just
go
wanted to
do
bring
yourself
that
a
up.
favor. If nothing else, go back and listen to that episode
He was like, yeah,
for that reason.
I know. And Miss poor Becky was probably like mortified that he said that. Because he was like, I don't even remember. You said something like, yeah, maybe, you know, so you got like a boyfriend or something who needs to hear this.
Yeah,
or
something. I don't remember.
She was like, well, everyone needs to hear this. She like tried to brush it off. And I was like, dummy, it's him. But, not her. It's like him calling him a dummy. But,
Bruh.
yeah, it was just silly. But whatever. But yeah, so that's cool. And especially like, I don't know, thinking about that the last couple of weeks too, now that we've added a third party. And so, now that there literally are three of us, it's cool to be like, our little family, you know, we're called to reflect the Trinity. Things like that. It's just cool.
And we're not good at it.
We're new. We're new
We're
to
new,
it.
but we'll get there.
Yeah.
It requires a lot of sacrifice that you were talking about,
Yes.
which
Sacrificial love.
is my next question here. What does sacrifice actually look like in marriage? Now, if we're addressing you guys, what does sacrifice look like in your marriage? I don't know if that's something you're comfortable with sharing.
Right now, it's deciding who gets the good pillow at night.
Really?
This is
the
not
biggest
funny.
thing so far.
Someone who we admire very much gifted us a singular, very nice pillow. So we took
Just one.
That was
It's pretty
cool.
expensive.
I think it's like that kind of pillow that like it's so nice that you just get
That you
one.
can only afford.
That you
Yeah. That's all you deserve.
and I mean, yeah, we take turns.
That's actually really funny.
It is.
But also a really good example of like a really mundane way.
Yeah, it's
of,
super
like,
small.
yeah, a really mundane but like beautiful way of loving someone.
It's like my favorite thing at night is we're like, oh no, Gabe, you can have this pillow, and he says, no, you can have it. I'm like, yes.
Oh, you guys sacrifice like that? See, I would have been like, Cecilia, it's my turn. It's my turn to have the bill. And then hoping that she would make that sacrifice for me. You know, I'm like,
that's the dishes. We do that with the dishes.
Yeah,
I washed the dishes the last 2 nights, Mark. It's your turn. And then she puts it off a couple of days. And then she does.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
What?
I was gonna say it's funny because it's like there are little things that I actually missed doing. Like earlier, Adeline had the baby, and I was like, I'm gonna do the dishes just because I have 2 hands.
Girl, if you miss the dishes, I will gladly hold the baby whenever you want.
Let's do it.
I would say the biggest thing that, like, especially this past week, that God has, like, just kind of been slapping me in the face with is just that, like, it's not about you. And, like, just constantly just remembering that. You know, like, I was kind of struggling with things. I'm just, like, asking God, like, what do I do? You know, how do I be better at this? And it was just, like, it's not about you. And
Yeah.
just, especially as a husband, I feel like it's, I mean, definitely on both. But, like, as the husband, you know, to, like, sacrifice more. Just, and, I mean, my dad was a great example of that. You know, growing up, it was always, like, it wasn't ever about him. It was always about us and about my mom. Whatever made it better for this and for my mom. You know.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. I've been feeling the same way, too. I think it might be a mix of being, I don't want to say thrown into marriage and fatherhood, because I did do this to myself. But, you know, having these new responsibilities that I've never had before. And likewise, my dad was a great example of just supporting us and giving us what we need, even if it wasn't necessarily what we wanted or what he wanted, for sure. You know, I'm in a spot in my life right now where I need things to change, but I don't feel like doing the work to change it all the time. You know, it's because it's hard, or what I'm doing now works and it's easy, but it's not going to work long time. And if we want a second kid, it's definitely not going to work, you know? So I'm definitely having to get my act together and figure things out that I've never had to figure out before. And it's scary, and it's everything that I knew it would be, you know, scary and fun and exciting. And I never know what Cecilia I'm going to wake up to in the morning. Cecilia doesn't know what Andrew she's going to wake up to in the morning, you know. So that just having that vocation and that drive to wake up every morning and to choose to love that person, you know, is such a sweet gift. And that's my motivator. I work a night job. This is nothing new on here. I work a night job. I come home at 6:30, and I walk in and I see my wife and my child in my bed, and I feel more compelled than ever in my life to provide for this family and to do what needs to happen to make sure that everyone's safe. Safety comes first, in my mind. Obviously, faith does too, but again, I'm not the greatest at that. Yeah, anyway, tangent over. Ladies? Are you crying? Oh.
Postpartum hormones.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I was just, I don't know. Sacrifice looks really strange right now, but also extremely beautiful. There's a lot of sacrifice. I feel like I don't know. I was thinking of like examples, and honestly, I think I can find more of Andrew's sacrifice during this time than I can find mine for him. I feel like I'm sacrificing a lot of myself for Anastasia, but in return, I'm needing a lot more of him, and so he's having to sacrifice a lot more for me. So I'm having a harder time trying to find where I'm sacrificing for you as much. But
Well,
for starters, you change all the diapers.
but it's kind of beautiful how that works out. Like,
yeah,
because in the same way, like you were saying, that's the way kind of the Trinity works. It's not just a 3-way split. It's it's a constant, you know, you're 30, he's 70. It's it's not a contract. It's a
Covenant.
It's a covenant. Thanks, Gabe.
I was going to say commitment, but that's a better word.
Yeah.
No, a covenant is not a contract. It's very different.
No. And like I said, it's I'm having a hard time, but also like it is beautiful, and I am so appreciative of it because it's like I'm so constantly. I mean, she's 2 weeks old. She's like helpless right now, and so just being able to like constantly tend to her and know that I'm also constantly being tended to by Andrew, I guess it's a huge blessing where it's like I've never felt so bossy in my life and I hate it so much. Where I'm like, hey, can you eat a burp bag? Hey, can you go fill my water? Like, hey, I'm really hungry. Can you do this? But it's like he does it all. And so it's so sweet to witness and to, you know, be the recipient of all of that. But yeah, I don't know.
What's really beautiful, I can't remember if it was Miss Karen, Gabe's mom, or if it was my mom that said that one of them told the other that when one of them was trying to do like a kind gesture for one of them, and the other said, no, don't do that. Like, it's fine. I'll be fine, whatever. And then the other one was like, don't take away my opportunity to do something kind. Like, don't take away my opportunity to receive grace. Like by you, you know, you may feel like you're putting them out, but you're actually giving them an opportunity to grace.
My mom was saying that the other day. My mom is she's very hard-headed, very stubborn, and I'm very similar. And but she was saying how she would always she never wanted help for people, and she never she would be like, no, I don't want help, I don't need it, like I'll be fine, I got it. How someone literally had to tell her, like, you're denying my attempt at being charitable towards you. Like, you're denying me being virtuous by telling me no.
Mm.
And I was like, that's a really great way of looking at that. Because, I mean, I don't know. It's really vulnerable to be like, yeah, I need help kind of thing. But,
yeah, I've never heard that, but it does make me think, too, that not only denying them of the opportunity to be charitable, but you also receive graces from being charitable. And so now you're denying them graces that they could be receiving as well.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Wow. Anything else on that? On sacrifice? No? The last section is on faith. How can married couples keep Christ at the center of their relationship, especially in hard times? That's toughy, and you're going to experience lots of hardships in your marriage. I say that like as if I'm an expert. Definitely not, but in the short amount of time that I've been married, we've had to move twice, figure out how to start raising a kid, deal with bills, you know, and all that. And we don't do the greatest job of keeping Christ at the center of our marriage. We not because we don't try, just because we're super busy. And at the end of the day, after wrestling with a baby and work and school, which just ended, and making sure that we have something to eat and that everybody, like our grandparents, have time to come visit, and our parents have time to come visit, and our siblings have time to come. We're just so exhausted by the end of the day. I hate that Cecilia has to ask me every night to say prayers. You know, it's something that we should just always know that we're doing. But yeah, I mean, what advice would you guys have on keeping Christ at the center of marriage? Obviously, nobody's perfect, and you can always do better. But what would you guys say?
I would say like quality of prayer is more important than quantity. So like it's like if Margaret and I only have 3 minutes in our entire day that we can really like sit down and pray together, that's going to be better than staying 20 minutes with distraction prayer.
Absolutely.
And so, like, just give God the best of your day, even if that's only like while you're brushing your teeth or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I would also say like confession is super important. Go to confession and keep your mind clear. And like the more clear your conscience is, the more reminded you're going to be of God, and the more you're going to see God in the sunset or in the person in front of you.
Mm-hmm. It is so funny. I don't know when I started. I don't know when I started noticing, but it really is so funny once you do start to notice that it's like, if I notice myself like in a bad mood, or if I'm like just like lashing out at Andrew for absolutely no reason, if I sit back and go, when's the last time I went to confession? Like, it really kind of makes me laugh every time, where I'm like, golly, it really is every time, where I'm like I'll start to irk myself, and I'm like, why am I like this? What's going on? Oh yeah, it's been a minute. Like, it's been a minute since I've gone to confession. It really is funny. So yeah.
Why do you think that is? Just curious.
That I start to
Irk yourself after having not gone to confession.
well, I think that's my conscience doing its job. That I start to be disgusted by myself, and I'm bothered and irritated by myself. And praise God, I don't know what I did to deserve the graces to be able to realize that. Because I mean, there are probably a lot of people who are really irked with themselves and don't know why. And
That's a sad thought.
isn't it?
That is really sad, yeah.
They might just think they're going crazy.
Yeah.
When I think, wow, I'm going crazy, I go, oh, I probably need to go to confession.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's a result of my conscience doing its job of working. But ever since I've started noticing it, I do pray for that grace to be able to keep noticing it.
When Margaret and I got married, we kind of like were talking about how we were gonna, navigate prayer and everything. And Margaret just naturally is a morning person, and I'm not super awake in the mornings. But at night, it's like the opposite. I could stay awake and finish prayers, and she might have a harder time. And so we decided, you're gonna say morning prayers, and every morning it's gonna be your job to remind me, hey, we need to say morning prayers together. And every night it's going to be my job to remind you, hey, Margaret, we haven't said nighttime prayers yet. Let's make sure to say them before we go to bed. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing as like quality over quantity. That even if it's on the phone on the way to work, it may not be together drinking coffee in the morning. We might not have had time for that. The mornings that we do, I find like I always really enjoy it, but I don't always get up on time necessarily for that. And so then we'll say them on the way to work, on the phone or whatever it is. So just even if it's finding, hey, you remind me at this time, then we're going to say prayers together. And our morning prayer is like 5 minutes, 3 minutes long. It's not like it's a 20-minute morning prayer. It's just a couple minutes, and then we give our day to God, and then we go on with our day.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. But we're the same way. I'm a morning person. And there are a lot of times where, I have a prayer journal, and I love in the mornings to just sit with that. And he's much more awake at night than I am.
I used to be a morning person, and I started working at night.
Yeah.
It's tough.
But, over last summer when I was nannying, one of the best things that I heard, which is so funny, and it's so not a coincidence that I spent that summer nannying and with the Edmondsons, who are such a great family, to only shortly become a mother after. But one of the best things that I think Emily has ever said, she says a lot of great things, but she was like, once you become a mom, you learn that you don't have time to pray like a monk, you just have time to pray like a mom. And that was her way of saying that, like the little things that you do for your kid and for your family throughout the day are like you're able to pray through all of that, because everything that you're doing is like very, very sacrificial and very loving. So you have to look at your intention behind it, obviously, like with anything. But so I've been thinking about that for the last couple of days, especially when I've been like I didn't pray nearly as much as I wanted to today. So when I'm up at 3 a.m. nursing, I'm trying to pray at 8 or something. Just because I'm like, I'm awake now, so I might as well make the most of it. Pray like a monk, dude. Pray like a monk. So yeah,
That's sweet.
I told Margaret the other day, I was like, I think if I just offer washing dishes every time I wash it, I just offer it up as a prayer to God. Like, I think I could be a saint just from now until I die.
Yeah.
Just the amount of times that I wash dishes. Like, if I do it reverently and I actually do it as an act of God, like for God, that's great.
The most beautiful things when I can tell when Gabe is doing something like that, like would do it. I can tell when you're doing the dishes. I can tell when you're doing that. That's actually, now that you say that, it's really sweet. I'm gonna have to appreciate that.
Well, I don't think I have anything else. If anyone has any advice, whether that's for dating, discernment, engagement, marriage, anything.
Yeah. So on faith, like we've gone through ups and downs, and our faith. I would say that we've almost. I don't think I could count on my hands. I think the times that we've either missed like nighttime or morning prayer. Like we have very few have missed the prayers that we're supposed to say together. But like, yeah, our faith has been up and down. Like it's just because we're saying our prayers doesn't mean our faith is still just a study. Right. But the biggest thing is just showing up, and like while we were talking, I'm sitting here thinking, like as you were talking about confessions, I was like, man, you're right. It's like the times that I find myself blaming Gabe are the times that I'm like, wait, I need to go to confession. And I'm really not even noticing it in the moment. I think like when it started to build up, and especially like after getting married, it kind of felt like I didn't need to go to confession as much. Like that sounds horrible, but I was like, after we got married, it was like, okay, like.
I found the same too. Not for anything specific, but it was just everything became easier. Yeah.
And but I knew there was something, when one thing leaves and another thing comes, and it was kind of scary. Like I didn't know where I was falling short anymore, and I think I was just falling short in faith, and I wasn't showing up anymore or as much in prayer. I was having a lot harder time going to adoration with Gabe or making daily mass, and I think it showed because I would start blaming Gabe for not getting up in the morning. Like, that's so stupid. Like, why am I mad at you for not getting up at the same time I get up? And I think about, as you were talking about confession, Cecilia, I think it made me realize, like, that's probably why I probably needed to go to confession, because I wasn't showing up and having that act of faith even when I didn't want to. And instead of looking inward and seeing that in myself, I just wanted to blame Gabe for anything I was mad at, or
So it's sad that you guys just happen to be there when it's the hard part about being a spouse is that it's like you're in a bad mood. You guys just happen to be there.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. Sorry.
I would say
Yeah. Okay.
I would say for engaged or dating couples or just anyone, just be completely honest and open about everything, and it just makes it so much easier. And don't be scared to ask for forgiveness. Like, say, like, I need you to tell me that you forgive me. And if the other person really forgives you, then they'll tell you that. But sometimes you just need to hear that.
Or talk to other couples. Like, we were surprised. Like, we had questions we wanted to ask to other couples, and like things where we were struggling in, but didn't want to talk to other people about, or talk to other couples about, because we didn't want to be judged in any way. But you would seriously be surprised how many people have that same question, or want to be seen the same way. I would just
I heard one time, I'm probably gonna botch this, but was saying that, like, vulnerability is the one thing every person in the world can relate to, but it's the one thing every person in the world wants to talk about the least. Like, we don't want to be vulnerable with each other. We all struggle with the same things. Like, we're all people. We all are hurting and we're all broken, but we don't want to admit it to other people. We don't want to talk to other people about how we're broken.
No, yeah, it was really nice during our engagement season. Everyone here was engaged at the same time. We were all struggling with the same things at the same time. So it really did help to have that kind of, just that ear to listen. Cecilia and I were struggling with something. We would go and visit with Gabe and Margaret, and they had just gone through the same thing, or vice versa, whatever the case, and then that really helped a lot.
I think we'll see that in our, because we're all young in our marriages, and thankfully we have a lot of friends who are also getting married, kind of in the same scenario that we are young, out of college, no money. I think we're gonna I'm really grateful for you guys, because I think we're gonna see, in some time, that our friendships are gonna pay off, and us being vulnerable now while we're young and new in our marriage is going to help us when we're 10 years down the road and we have something that is really heavy on our hearts and we don't know who to talk to, but we've made that ground with y'all, and we're vulnerable, and we can come to y'all, and we understand that if we've thought about it, at least someone else,
If we thought about it, those Birkins definitely.
But anyway.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, and
I'm thankful for that.
Oh, for sure. Because especially during engagement, but also it's just so nice to be okay,
yeah.
But going off what Gabe had said too about honesty and things like that too, is that there's no reason for you to. And I'm saying this out loud because I'm so bad at it, but it's there's no reason for you to take something personally when it comes from someone you love. I'm really bad at when Andrew gives me feedback, and I'm I'm the worst at this. But it's no, you have to give him benefit of the doubt that he wasn't telling me that because he was yeah, I want to make it feel like crap. He was actually telling me that because he wants to see me be a better person, be a good person.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that is going to help in all aspects of your life. So when you go and you say to your spouse or hey, I want to hey, I want to pray more, I want to do this more. It's not your job to be to take it personally, be oh, I failed. I failed at being a good spouse and helping you spiritually in this. And so you take that personally and then you beat yourself up about it, which is not going to help you at all. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's no need to take anything personally from someone who's supposed to love you as special, as intimately as your spouse does. So.
This is just something I've been thinking about. The other day, St. Pius had their confirmation, and Ty Bordelon came to me, and I don't know how many people know Ty. I don't know if I can name drop, but I'm going to name drop anyway because I think he deserves it because he's amazing. But he's asking me how's marriage and all that good stuff. Anyway, he was asking me how's marriage, and not marriage, but the words he actually used were, what is it like to live out your vocation? And at first I was just kind of what did you say? You have to slow down for a second because I need to process this. And he was no, it must be just so freeing and wonderful to finally live out your vocation that God has called you for. And he was asking me, and I still to this day I can't answer it. That what that means, I literally can't put that into words. It's just so wonderful. And I just thought the way that, because he didn't actually ask how's marriage, and I've gotten that question so many times, but he just asked how is it to live your vocation. I still don't know how to answer that. It's just such a beautiful sentiment.
I actually had a similar conversation like that with a couple of the guys in the Vianney house, and it was right after. It they were altar serving at Mass, and it was like right after we had gotten married, and they were like, "Oh, how does it feel? Like you're living out your vocation." And I was thinking, like, yeah, that's like it's really cool because these guys are like in the midst of like this deep search for what and discernment and stuff like that. And I was like, that really is just so cool to be on the other side of it, I guess. And now all the guys in the meeting house got accepted in the seminary, and so they're taking the next step.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're taking the next step in their discernment, but also just thinking about like, I don't know. That's another thing is that people will take like the discernment of religious life and the priesthood so like they take it so seriously.
Yeah.
There's no reason as to why you shouldn't discern marriage just as seriously. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool that our vocation is just to love the person that we already love the most. Just love them well.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get each other to heaven. Just,
Yeah.
Like, I love Margaret more than anyone else in the world, and God's calling me to love her. Like, that's my job for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
To just do that well.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
It is. It's so cool.
And it's the same for seminarians.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Priests love the church. Love it more than anything else.
I mean, I love to see a priest love their parish more than anything. Like Father Starkovich, it makes me, when he's beaming at his congregation, it's just so beautiful.
It is so great to see, I don't know, a priest just like totally in love with what they do and who they minister to.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. It is. And I think that like the way that you put it is like, it's so simple, but it's so beautiful because it's like, it's the truth and you don't want to overcomplicate it because like, yeah. And that's the thing is that people are like, your marriage isn't supposed to be hard. Life is hard. Your marriage is supposed to make it easier. Like,
facts.
Like life is hard enough. Your marriage isn't supposed to be one of those burdens. Like your marriage is supposed to be what helps you get through the hard life. So, because it really is that simple. You just have to love and love girl.
Are you reading my text messages?
No. That was So we're recording at my house right now. So it's house right now, and we don't have Wi-Fi here yet. So we're using Margaret's hotspot on her phone. And she just got a message, and I did glance at it. But it's from AT&T saying you're about to run out of hotspot. So that means we got to wrap this up.
I thought, what? I don't have unlimited hotspot?
You're right. You've used 70%.
What am I paying all this money for?
Yeah, it's a scam. So anyway, sorry about that.
I'll send you the bill. Y'all are making bank off of this podcast.
Oh, you know it. Every episode.
That paycheck comes in hot.
Now, the last thing that I think I have to say is just when you're dating and when you're engaged and when you get married, just love that person like Christ loves the church. And I know that's kind of like, what do you mean by that? I think that I mean, I think what I mean by that is Christ loves the church in a very sacrificial way. So yes, sacrifice for your significant other, that person you're dating. But also, God thrives to see His church, and His church is a collective people. It's not a building. His church is a people, and God wants to spend eternity with His people in heaven. And so, my only advice, which is something that I wish that I would have started a long time ago, is my goal should be to help my significant other get to heaven. Start when you're dating. Date this person as if your end goal was not marriage, but is to see that person in heaven one day. And hopefully, somewhere in that, God will grant you the sacrament of marriage, You can work together to expand the kingdom by raising your children up in that same love. So look at it when you start dating someone, anyone, even if it's not the person that you end up marrying. Love them to heaven. That's a song, but love them to get them to heaven.
Can you sing it for us?
I don't want to get copyrighted.
No.
We can't afford that.
The paychecks aren't that big.
We cannot afford that lawsuit.
But
From the Jonas Brothers.
from the Jonas Brothers, yeah. Really. Nick, love to have you on. Yeah, give me a shout out.
Heard you're Christian.
But no, seriously, love that person first. Firstly, this person, love them to heaven. Secondly, love your children to heaven. Thirdly, love the rest of the world to heaven. So, if anyone has any other closing thoughts, comments, concerns, questions?
Y'all's family's very beautiful.
Aw,
It's very sweet.
thanks.
Love it too.
Gabe, I am going to ask you to pray out, if you wouldn't mind.
No,
You listen enough to know that this is what we do. Kind of.
This is like the most nerve-wracking question I've been thinking about all day. I was like, I hope he doesn't ask me this.
I'm so sorry. Margaret's already been here before, so it had to be.
Did you pray on it?
I have no idea.
Well, besides pointing at me.
Heavenly Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here. Thank you for letting us be blessed to be in the presence of Andrew and Cecilia and their beautiful child. Pray for everyone listening, that you help them to discern their call in life, whatever that is. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, guys.
Well, yes, thank you. We've been looking forward to this for, like I said, 2 years now. And I think it's everything that Cecilia and I wanted and knew it would be. So appreciate you guys.
Yes.
It's now after 10:30. So thank you. Thank you.
Wow.